How are you? Today is Monday, and I've had quite a few people ask me how I make my keto pizza. So today I'm going to show you how I make my keto pizza. This is Alicia, and thank you for joining me again. And at the end of during or after, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified when I make the next video. So for the sake of time, I've already preheated the oven at 450. And I've grated almost 2 pounds of cheese. They do sell it grated by the big bagful at my favorite store, Costco. They do sell it grated, but I prefer to grate it myself because number one, it's a little cheaper, and I don't know, it's just me that I wonder who touched my cheese before they packaged it. But anyway, that's just me. So I went ahead and grated. What you're gonna need, I did this in 3 parts because it can be lengthy if I show you from the beginning to the end of how I make it, and so it's in 3 parts, so be sure you watch the next one after this and the next one after that. So at any rate, let's get started. I use parchment paper. I found out when I went to visit my mother up north. Oh, speaking of my mother, Mami, este video está dedicado a usted. Espero que le guste y espero que siga haciendo las pizzas keto. And also it's dedicated to Katie and Aaron and Patty, and up in Michigan, and also for all my wonderful, beautiful ladies here in the South. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to need a pizza pan. You can use this one. Oh, and like I was telling you, I found out going up there to my mother's that she didn't have a round pizza pan and she didn't have parchment paper, so I had to improvise, and I found she had a lasagna glass container, so I used that. It was, oven proof, so I used that. I didn't use parchment paper, and it came out wonderful. So if you have some glass molds, you don't need the parchment paper, but I don't have a glass mold. Not for baking anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do it the way I do it. So let's go ahead and cut a piece, the mold, cut a piece. Now this is I buy these 2 big ones at Costco, of course, my favorite store, and you can get that there. If you don't have, let me get this started first. Okay, so here's the mold. Cut it a little too small, but okay. Well, it's too small. Let me go with the bigger size. Okay. Rather have it a little too big than a little too small. So what I do is turn it this way and kind of use the marker just to outline it so that, again, I'm showing you how I make it. And eventually, I've been making this for a while now, for about 3 months. I've made it very often, so it works for me. And with time, you will, if you make it enough times, you'll find your own little ways of doing it. Nobody's going to make it exactly the same. I saw this video on another YouTube channel, and there are a lot of pizza that's better, okay? So nice and round, not perfect, but for the sake of time, I don't want to take up too much time, so I could show you the other. Okay, so we've done that. Now, the next step, I spared you the boredom of watching me grate all this cheese and cauliflower. So I bought a whole head of garlic. Now, again, they do sell this already grated, but I don't like it. It gets too watery, or it just doesn't taste the same. I don't like it. So again, you can use the packaged cauliflower. I don't like it. I prefer to grate my own. It's not difficult. It's a little more time consuming, but it's not difficult to do. And this is, I buy a big block of cheese like I told you. So let me show you what I do. I use this grater. And of course, you probably have a different one, but you just grab it from the little, the cauliflower from the little tail there, and you just grate it. See? It's good wrist exercise too. So anywho, I'm not going to bore you with watching me grate that, but that's pretty much what I do. This all took about maybe half an hour to do, but with the music on and that, you know, with my wonderful thoughts, it goes by fast. And again, with the cheese, we grate it the same way. And okay, so again, I'm going to spare you the agony of watching me grate the cheese. Okay, so this is what you need, okay? You're going to need a measuring cup. Well, I use a measuring cup. You can use any cup that you want. Just make sure it's the same ratio. Okay. You're going to use pack it down a little bit, 2 cups of cauliflower, okay? And we're going to use this little glass bowl here to put it in there. 2 cups. Okay, 2 cups. Easy peasy so far. And 2 cups of cheese. Let's move this cauliflower out of the way. Move this up. And 1 more cup. Gotta pay attention because sometimes you'll forget, did I put 1 or 2? So, put the other 2. And I think what I'm going to do is take this ring off because I don't want it to get full of the little things in the crevices there. Okay, so that we're done with that. Let me put this over here. All right. Now, the next thing you're going to need is our 2 eggs. Now, I prefer pasture raised. Well, no, actually, I prefer to have a local rancher or farmer next to me or within a mile that has free-ranging chickens or hens that are pecking away at insects or eating insects and grass and how they're meant to be. But I don't have a farmer like that nearby, so unfortunately. So I go with the pasture raised, and this is the brand, our local brand, but I'm sure you have something similar that says pasture raised. So I use 2 eggs, pasture raised eggs, and let's crack these, and then we're going to add our seasoning. Again, this is what I get from Costco, and I don't measure a whole lot except the cheese and the cauliflower, but I just kind of just eyeball it. I'm into the seasoning, and some pink sea salt and some black pepper, and of course, okay, I get this big container at Costco. I think it's like under $7, so it's a great deal. I mean, you can't beat that huge container. Anywho, then what am I forgetting? Okay, so that okay. Now we just start. What else? I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, so we just start mixing it, and you know, usually you have music on, or if you're talking to someone, I usually listen to a podcast or listen to some good praise music, and so yeah, it doesn't take very long. The longest part is the prepping. You can grate the cheese and the cauliflower the night before, which is something I've done before if I know I'm going to have a busy day. So today, and I should have done this last night, or grated it last night, but I just didn't feel like it. I was a little tired and I had other things I wanted to do. So this is something that is not difficult to do. It doesn't take a long time. Again, it's just the prep work. Make sure you have enough cheese to grate, or grated cheese. Always make sure you have enough cauliflower. A big cauliflower will make 2 pizzas, so it goes a long way, and it is organic. Okay, so that's about it. Just enough to get all these ingredients together. And there is my oven that says it's ready. I preheated it at 450. Okay, if you can't remember all this, which you probably won't, because I probably wouldn't, I have a, what do you call it, okay, and I forgot this little important thing there. Okay, so that sounds better. We're gonna put everything that I mixed in the center of the pan, and you'll know why in a minute. Okay, so you can see that there. What I'm gonna do is put in the middle, and you just start, just keep pressing until it becomes a large round. That's why I'm always on this side, because my microphone cord is not as long to where I should be on the other side, but at any rate, eventually I'll get one that's a lot longer. So we keep doing this. I guess I should have elevated this a little bit. So you keep pressing till you get to the edge of the paper there. And I realized after visiting my beautiful mother that the glass container is actually easier. So if you have a glass container, a lasagna container or similar, by all means use it. I know I certainly would. So okay, that went a little almost past there. Okay, so, and this is something that you can have your children help you with if they're, a little small, but if they're older, like, 10 and above, they certainly can do this. It's not difficult. It's actually fun. And you're gonna love how it tastes. It really tastes good. Okay, so it's ready. Let me just wipe my hands and let me show you. See, that's pretty much how it looks before you put it in the oven at 450. And again, if you click on my blog below the video, it will take you to my blog. Click on my blog and I'll show you the details and the directions and the ingredients in case you forget. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna put it in the oven for 15 minutes. And then I'll come back and make another little short video of the toppings that I add and details about that. And so in the meantime, I'm gonna let it cook in the oven. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.